The armed forces of Ukraine destroyed 6 enemy ammunition depots and 2 command posts, Operational Command South reported. Local residents of occupied Yakovilvka in the Donetsk region also reported about a detonating ammunition depot of the Russian army in the morning of August 6th.
4 airstrikes were conducted against enemy concentrations in the group's operational zone. 2 strongholds and an ammunition depot in the Beryaslav and Kherson districts were hit.
Fierce fighting between the Ukrainian armed forces and Russian occupiers in Donbass continues. The enemy is trying to advance in the Donetsk direction, concentrating efforts in Bakhmut and Avdiivka directions using aviation.
Shelling near Spirne and Ivanodarivka was recorded in the Kramatorsk direction. The enemy conducted offensive battles in the direction of Yakovilvka, Vershina and Kodema Zaitseve. As a result, it had no success and retreated. It is also conducting an offensive towards Bakhmut. Fighting continues there.
On the night of August 5th, Russian troops in the Dnipropetrovsk region shelled the Nikopol district from Grad multiple launch rocket systems and the Kryvyi Rih region from barrel artillery. According to the head of the regional military administration, Valentin Reznichenko, 3 people were wounded. Several thousand people were left without electricity. In the Kharkiv direction, the enemy shelled 7 districts of the city with barrel and rocket artillery, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reports. According to the regional military administration, strikes from Belgorod were carried out in the Industrialny and Slobozhansky districts of Kharkiv. Chuhuiv and Izum districts were shelled. 2 people were hospitalized. The General Staff states that the Ukrainian armed forces had early advanced deep into the enemy's defenses and gained a foothold in the liberated territories. We are preparing for active fighting in the south. This was stated by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. Due to the beginning of the active phase of the counterattack by the armed forces of Ukraine and retaliatory actions of the Russian army, it is necessary to evacuate the civilian population as much as possible, the Joint Coordination Press Center of the Southern Defense Forces reports. We should not panic. We hear from different sources different sacred dates, and all say that civilians must be evacuated. We support this and call for help to our military. Natalia Humanuk, spokesperson of the Operational Command South, on the air of the national telephone. The Special Operation Forces in the Azov Regiment showed an assault on enemy positions in southern Ukraine. After several attacks by Russian occupiers on the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant in Enerhodar, the nitrogen-oxygen plant and auxiliary building were damaged, Energoatom reported, and Unit 4 was shut down. The insider sources reported about possible mines at the plant in case of counterattack by the Ukrainian armed forces.
Russia should bear responsibility for the very fact of creating a threat to the nuclear power plant, and this is not only another argument in favor of recognizing Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism. This is an argument in favor of applying tough sanctions against the entire Russian nuclear industry.
Russia keeps 4 Kalibr cruise missiles carriers in the Black Sea. According to Operational Command South, the threat of missile strikes has increased. Russia is ready to go for broke in this war against Ukraine, Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council Alexei Danilov stated. The enemy is moving equipment and ammunition from the Far East and the Ural. Reported by Marina Stepanenko, Julia Bezborodko, UATV News.